Introducing the Philips 27E1N56. Honestly, I don't really know the full name of this monitor, but in Windows it is called 27E1N5600A. But that aside, there are a few things that are interesting about this monitor, and I think many people will like this monitor because of those reasons. So let's get started. We'll start off with the specs. This is a 1440p monitor that can go up to 75Hz refresh rate, and it also comes with AMD FreeSync, which I guess monitor makers can just include this feature into their monitors because it is easy to implement and it brings a lot of benefits to the users as well. And I will also call this monitor as versatile, and that is because the number of ports available on this monitor. So you see, we have a standard HDMI and also a display port. And then we also have another USB Type-C port, but that is not all, because we also have 4 more USB Type-A ports on this monitor. All of them are USB 3.05 gigabits per second, and one of those ports are also supporting fast charging, but I'm not sure how fast is fast. That means in addition to that, we can connect a keyboard, mouse, and one more peripheral like a webcam or something like that to the monitor. And then we can also connect maybe our phone to get it charged at the same time, and then everything can be connected to our laptop like this MacBook Pro with just one single cable. And we'll also get video signal and 65 watts of power to the laptop to charge it at the same time with just that one single cable. Granted, we do need to make sure that our laptops do support USB PD charging and also supports DisplayPort out mode at the same time. And for this monitor though, I think any laptops with Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4 will support it without any issues. Other than that, your laptop, phones and tablets that have desktop mode, like let's just say Samsung DeX for example, you can also plug in the USB Type-C cable from the monitor directly to your device, and then you can use the same keyboard, mouse and everything else. With that said, I want to highlight the color accuracy of this monitor. It's actually quite good because it reaches up to 98.48% of sRGB color gamut. However, what I worry the most is actually the maximum brightness of this monitor. It can go up to only about 330 nits, and since we recently upgraded our studio ceiling lights to LEDs, we discovered that 330 nits of brightness isn't exactly sufficient for this kind of environment. What we are using here is actually already at 100% brightness, which is 330 nits. So if your office has ceiling lights that are brighter than this, then you might feel uncomfortable using this monitor. Speaking of comfort, this monitor does have height adjustment, tilt adjustment and also rotation. It does not have pivot, but I think that's okay because you can just directly lift up the entire monitor to change its position anyway because it's very lightweight. The OSD menu in this monitor is also really standard, so there's a joystick at the back and all of the settings available here are pretty much the same like any other monitors. We also have the MPRT setting as well, so if you enable that, then you will disable your flicker free feature, which means it changes to something like PWM dimming, and the higher your MPRT value, then it will just flicker more. So do keep note of that if you are sensitive to this kind of flashing lights, because for some people this kind of fast flickering will cause fatigue and headache. Looking back at the ports, you might have wondered how we can use the monitor's USB ports if we connected everything to a desktop or laptop via HDMI or DisplayPort. Well, the answer is simply via that single USB Type-C port that we showed earlier. That also means that if you want to use this monitor with your laptop and a desktop at the same time while sharing the same keyboard and mouse, then you will have to get a KVM instead. However, if a KVM is included in this monitor though, then the price will definitely skyrocket to an unimaginably high price. So I want to dedicate a special segment to give you an example of how I will use this monitor. So when I come into the office, I plug in the MacBook Pro via a single cable, and then I get my mouse, keyboard, card reader, speaker, and also some other accessories that just light up at the same time. And that is because I plug everything to either my monitor or the dongle that I'm using, and This setup works, although it is fragile since there are a lot of points of failures within this chain of connection. And I also have to connect yet another cable to the laptop for power. So for my setup, if I get the Philips 27E1N monitor, which is this one, then that single USB Type-C port can give me 4 USB 3.0 Type-A ports. That means I can plug in my keyboard, mouse, card reader, and another open-ended cable, maybe plug it to my external SSD for example. And I also do not have to plug in another cable for charging because this monitor is able to provide up to 65 watts of power to the laptop. For the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, this requires 67 watts actually, but that extra 2 watts, it doesn't really do much. So all in all, this monitor is priced at $1,499, which I think is very decent, but Philips Malaysia did told us that they are having a promotion by the time this video goes live. And by the way, if you buy any Philips monitors from now until 31st of March 2023, you will also get a 3+2 years of warranty as well. This promotion is valid for all monitors purchased within this promotional period. Just remember to register your warranty at Philips Malaysia's website, and I'll leave the link down in the description for you too. So that's it. For this monitor, I think it's in a bit of a niche use case scenario, but if you can find proper use for this monitor, then it's an excellent one. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, do leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.